by the way. Hi to everyone in the chat. Yeah, dreadful for us. Awful display. I wish I'd watched the semi-final, if I'm honest. I tuned in and caught the last 5 minutes of normal time, saw the penalty, and watched the extra time. And I have to say, as a neutral, I was thoroughly engrossed, thoroughly enjoyed that 35, 40 minutes that I watched, and was better than anything I watched watching my team today. Mind you, to be fair, Palace were good, right? So I'll take nothing away from them. But yeah, we were absolutely god awful. I mean, aging back four that looked like it's ready to pop down the post office and pick up its pension. I'm sure we'll talk about that later on in a few.
Yeah, we will do. I mean, there's a few things to cover on that. I mean, obviously, everyone in the chat, thanks for joining us. Some great people in there, as always, that support us. As Arsenal Manics alluded here, we've had 24 attempts, so second most shots in an away game for Arsenal this season. Can't hit the barn door, though. Need a striker. Yeah, big thing there on that one there. I mean, the one thing I'm going to cover first of all, before we go into what happened during the week, is basically the Everton-Nottingham Forest game. And the three contentious VAR decisions that basically, according to them, wasn't anything to go worry about. I mean, the first one for me was a clear penalty, clipped him on the back of the heel. But when the VAR looked at it, it was a case of just light contact, nothing wrong with that. But how many games have you seen, Jez, Jeff, Anthony, Richard, Fuzzy? We've been in games where we've seen contact like that, and it's cost you a penalty.
I didn't actually see the game. I was actually out. So
yeah, on that one, Jez, he clipped him on the back of the heel. I mean, yeah, you could say it was minimal, but there was still contact nevertheless in the 18-yard box.
He told me. Yeah, he told me, man. Yeah, I didn't actually. I'll see it on Match of the Day later. But what I've been told, it was a clear penalty.
Big up,
and also he told me that VAR man was a Luton fan, and Forest have put out a complaint about that for respect for them for doing that, man.
Yeah, apparently they put their objection during the week, but obviously it went on deaf ears, and he was still in.
And I've just shared your stream, and
thank you, mate.
I've taken the piss out of Anthony and your brother, because at the end of the day, I sit out there. You're going to see coming up from the Yeti later in the week. Actually, he's doing this thumbnail thing. It's absolutely brilliant. And it's I'm in court. I'm judge, and Anthony's there on his tractor. You're on your tractor.
On my tractor.
That's too bad.
I got to get the tires pumped up first, Jez. I've got a flat.
They come up Wednesday night.
Yeah, probably did, actually. They did. Evening, Darren Sullivan. VAR could have shown some common sense with Coventry's fourth goal, giving them the benefit of the doubt, as United should have put them to bed. Interesting one. Yeah. Link's not working. Right, I'll send it back to you again, mate.
But yeah, just quickly with the statement about the penalty decisions, I'm pretty sure we had something a little bit similar in intensity with the Chelsea game, United-Chelsea game. That last-minute conceded penalty. I mean, if that qualifies as a penalty, then surely Nottingham Forest one qualifies as a penalty. If Rodri in the Manchester derby earlier in the season, not the away game but the home game for United, if you can pull Rodri's arm slightly and he can flop himself to the floor, that can be a penalty. But then a logical decision where logical contact can actually impact a player's stride and stop him from actually getting to the ball or challenging fairly for the ball. Get a carpet, brush it under. Don't worry about it.
Evening, mate.
Yeah.
Hello.
How we doing, mate? All good, mate. Yourself?
Yeah. Bro, I'm fucking angry. Angry as anything. Because at the end of the day, that one from Young is a penalty. Kicks the back of his legs.
Yeah,
And then you've got
absolutely.
this stupid little prick Luton fan who's doing the VAR, yeah, which is bang out of order. And other teams is like saying, oh, Forest are moaning again, Forest are moaning again. I tell you what, you get that fucking situation and you'll be crying like a bitch. And I know you will, because I know the way you work. And it's out of order. You can't have a referee who's you've got to have impartial referees, and you've got to have impartial VAR people as well. I didn't see the other two, but the one I saw, I was just fucking disgusted, mate. Disgusted.
Well, the second one was basically, again, Luke, Young was involved again. And, okay, you could say there was, was it ball to hand? But the fact that he hits the ball with his hand, or the ball hits his hand, shall I say, but he straight away drags it behind him. So for me, that kind of says, do you feel like you've done something?
Well, I mean, that's got to be like taking the ball to the hand to the fucking ball, or whatever you call it.
Yeah.
But I mean, the fact of the matter is like you could see that Young had a wry smile on his face that he got away with that penalty, because he knew that he'd gave a penalty away there. And it's just, you know what? Fuck the Premier League. Let's just go back to the Championship, start enjoying fucking football again.
No, exactly. I'm just going to start bar games one. We'll come back to that. But yeah, exactly. I mean, because good evening, Alan Wiggs. Good to see you in here. It was. I didn't see the third one, so I can't make a comment on that one. But the first two I saw. I mean, the kick in the back of the leg for me, yeah, clear.
100%, yeah.
And not to be given and say that it was just light contacts, and that's okay. Just I don't know, just got to make of it. I mean, anyone else in the chat? In the panel, see that? Anyone got any comments on that?
You've been
I
talking about
tuned
it,
in just before I tuned into our game, so I don't know what incident I'm talking about, but the tackle from behind, where he catches his heel, makes no contact with the ball. That's a penalty.
Yeah.
There's no. I didn't see all of them, but I saw that one.
Yeah.
When it happened, I was like, "Oh, that's a penalty," and it wasn't given. I thought, "Okay." Then they showed the replay, and VAR have reviewed that and not awarded a penalty, and it's outrageous. There's no contact with the ball. He catches the back of him. He's tackling from behind.
Yeah.
It's got to be a penalty in my eyes.
Yeah.
But I saw one that we were moaning a couple of weeks ago about Calvin Phillips and shouldn't that be a penalty? And I think the same week, Calvert-Lewin was in full control of the ball round the bot and got kicked on the shin, and it wasn't awarded a penalty, and VAR checked it and passed it as no penalty. And I don't know what is and what isn't a penalty anymore. I don't know what anyone else thinks about it.
Well, we can ask Jez, being our ex-referee in the panel. He can tell us. I mean, you've seen some games, Jez, where there's been some mad decisions given out.
Facts. I'll be very interested to see this later on, because I'm going to click back and watch this, because apparently it wasn't just one decision. There was three.
Yeah.
3 decisions.
I've looked. I've just seen all 3.
And I want to look at that and think, well, how can you get this so wrong? How can you get it? I mean, I don't want to get into the fact right now, right? But I'm sure we will talk about it. The VAR man is a Luton fan, and at this time of the season, we're going into a very difficult time for those lower teams in the Premier League, where every single point is crucial for survival.
Absolutely.
I totally disagree. I mean, I said to Yeti when I was on his watch along, right? If I was an Arsenal fan, right, and we're playing Chelsea on Tuesday night, okay, and we've got a Tottenham guy in VAR doing that game, I'd be seriously peed off about that one.
Yeah.
Because we're challenging at this point in time for a league title, and that one bad decision can make a massive, massive difference. Now, I totally anyway disagree with VAR. That there was a decision today in the Cup semi-final, and I said to the Yeti, right, just because one bloke is wearing a size 8 pair of boots and the other player is wearing a size 7 pair of boots, and his toenail, right, is like quarter of an inch in front of him, and you make him offside.
Yeah.
You make him offside. That is the most ridiculous decision I've ever seen. I just don't see how you can make that a decision. I don't get it. Right? There's no way, right, in amateur football that could ever be enforced. Because you just don't get the level class of you know the fact. All of us, we all know. Sunday morning football, Saturday afternoon football, right? Invariably, unless it's a cup game in a top flight sort of county level competition, you don't get proper linos. Referees acting as your lino. Yeah, it's the substitute who doesn't want to be bloody doing it anyway, right? How can you enforce this? It's why, football is such an easy game. Why make it so complicated? Where you bring this absolute nonsensical,
big up Wolfie,
stupid decisions. There's another one today. Handball used to be hand to ball.
Mm.
Now it's hand to ball or ball to hand. Make your mind up. What decision are you going to give? Right? When Coventry got that, got that decision, the guy was trying to hide his arm. He was trying to do that, and it hit his arm. That to me is not handball. I'd never ever given that decision when I was refereeing. I'd have gone, no, that's not handball. Not handball. Yeah, the guy is trying to disguise his hand, trying to get it out of the way. Yeah, play on. Yeah, you'd have got the abuse and all that. Fair play, I get it. But at the end of the day, that to me is not the right decision.
No, 100%. Because as I say, it cost Forest in the end. That's the thing. It really cost them.
Yeah.
And you see how tight it is down the bottom there with the 3 clubs. That's the worst part about it.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, we were shit. To be fair, we were shit. The defending was absolutely tragic. How we're actually going to be able to help Arsenal out next week against Manchester City, yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. But the fact of the matter is if that penalty is given at 0-0, which it should be, yeah, that changes games. It changes morale, it changes the way that games run and things like that, and that's why I'm so annoyed about it. And I didn't know about the Luton thing, and apparently Forest challenged it before the game actually took part, and the PGML did nothing about it. So, you know what, MLL, you're going to find out what the Red Dogs are about, because we're coming for you now. We're coming for you, and all you teams need to get behind us as well, because one day it's going to happen to you guys as well. It's just bang out a line.
No, exactly. Just want to say to big up to Lone Star Londoner, long time no see. Hope you're keeping well, mate. Thanks for coming onto the show as well. I'm on that because at the end of the day, we picked up this a couple of weeks back, funny enough, that you obviously got Mark Clattenburg on your side. And for me, I thought, it's not a bad shout, actually. I think other clubs need to kind of go that way because, not being funny, we need protecting.
But what? I get it. I understand where you're coming from, but what does it matter?
It ain't going to matter. I know that.
What's he going to do? Shout gladiators ready?
You never know, mate.
What?
That way he can just not pick for that after them. How he over celebrated today. That was.
Well, no, I get that because they got smashed by Chelsea 6-0. So basically, they're trying to fight to not be the ones that are dropping down into the bottom 3. So I get the celebration. I have no issue with that whatsoever. But it's just like these decisions are just getting stupid, and we've had so many of them this season as well.
No, exactly. Look, Wolfgang saying, "Judge the handball against us, not even a corner."
Mm.
I mean, Anthony might remind us about a certain game that there was a certain goal or ball going out.
Yeah, that was
Remember that
past the line thing. You know it was. Yeah, it was. It was past the line.
Mm.
It was a
By
corner.
the way, is Cooper been sacked yet? But
Yeah.
no. But you're talking about VAR. You know, I get it. It's not that great. It was a definitely penalty. Didn't make a difference if there was maximum contact or the slightest contact. It's still contact in that area. It's
Yeah.
still a penalty.
Yeah.
Now, what I've been hearing is like what you and Jed have been saying, Yeti, that the guy behind VAR is a Luton fan, right?
Mm.
You've appealed to it, fair enough. But I tell you what, instead of appealing to it, I tell you what, let's scrap it. Let's get it out. Because I got to be honest with you, I think VAR is an absolute pile of bollocks, and this is what's ruining
It
the
is.
game. I don't like
Yeah,
it myself.
It is.
And it's like that. I'm not being funny, but the Coventry and Man United game earlier. I mean, like minimum offside. If it was just it nail on the head when he said about it with the 2-0. To me,
Yeah.
actually, it wasn't quick. They didn't bring up the line quick enough to see if that player was in an offside position. If it's a leg or a foot, I get it. But if it's if you're talking millimeters, yeah, you know, that's it. I think the goal should have stood. But I mean, you got to give Coventry credit, aren't you, for what they've done in that game, definitely. And that is a game that they, in all fairness, that they should have won.
Yeah.
And if I was a Man United fan, I would be disappointed in that. End of. But look, you've won on the penalty shootout. You've gone to the final. I was looking forward to taking the piss out of Fuzzy, and also the guy above Yeti as well. On Yeti's, what's that? On your right, is it?
He's right. Yep.
He's
He's
right.
right.
Well, I know you don't know your left and right, so that's fine.
Yeah. And, right then, take the piss out my bro, I should say. And then, but unfortunately, it wasn't to be.
Big up one of Yeti's bad mates. Good to see you on here as well. Good to see you.
Big up.
Who is this guy who's doing this? Because I got a funny feeling another title's going to be coming up in a minute. And it always does.
More than likely. Yeah.
The officer role's annoying. How's everyone? We're all doing well, Luca. Good to see you as well, mate.
Well, we've got 2 tractors for the price of 1 in this stream, haven't we?
Oh, yeah, right, yeah.
What's this to West Country accent? Is that?
Exactly that.
Yeah.
So Lone Star London is saying FFP, no cup replays and VAR changing the landscape of football. And that just goes back to, I think, what Bargav came up with, which what you guys make of the news replays. I mean, does it diminish the FA, the cup by no replays anymore?
Yeah, for me it does.
It's
It's what some of the smaller clubs rely on, getting a replay and their opportunity to go through. I think it suits the big clubs, those in Europe, and the Peps of this world that want to be in all the competitions and win all the trophies and then moan about how many games they play. I mean, it's kind of like the price of success, isn't it? Right? And if Aldershot get drawn against Arsenal, right, and they scrap it out over 90 minutes and earn themselves a replay, they should get that replay. I think it's shocking, personally, on a personal level. I think it diminishes the competition a bit and takes away some of the integrity of it.
I totally agree with that. I totally agree with that. I actually, to be honest with you, I hadn't thought about it like that, because great comment, actually. The fact that, man, Kyle, last night, man, that was wild. Absolutely wild. That was wild.
Big up, Carl.
And we were chatting for another hour and a half after that show, man. Seriously.
Wow.
That's a great comment, man, because I hadn't actually thought about it like that. I thought about it selfishly from
Right.
Arsenal's point of view in the fact that do we need these continual replays? No. But if yeah, as you say, Aldershot Town draw Arsenal, right, at their ground, right, and they get a good get a good draw.
They'll beat you.
Up the shots, up the shots, up the shots. They're probably the most local team. That.
The fact remains, Aldershot Town going back to the Emirates on a replay. Yeah, the FA Cup works, doesn't it? The teams get half the game, right? The last time Arsenal drew a low-level league team was at Sutton United, right? In Arsene Wenger, his last year, yeah, right. Arsenal Football Club, out of respect, all right, Arsenal won the game. But what they did, they said, we don't want your money, right? We'll pay for you to rebuild the roofs on your changing rooms because they leaked, right? So they said, we don't want your money, right? And let's be fair, Arsenal didn't need that money, right? So they said, keep your money, boys, and actually rebuild the roofs on your changing rooms because they're leaking. Yeah, fair play. And teams like Aldershot Town or those sort of ilk sides, fair play. They should get their return game. And you know, Aldershot Town going to the Emirates, right? 60,000 fans there. Yeah, they're going to get a big payday.
Yeah, exactly.
And those clubs need it. So I actually accept what you Bullion Lounge said there, man, because I was thinking of it selfishly, thinking, well, with all the games, if we're in Europe, do we need replays? No, we don't. We don't. Especially the way this manager runs Arsenal Football Club. Yeah. We don't need it. But hearing what you've just sold me, I love the FA Cup. I love that game today. Yeah, I hate it when this manager we have throws the FA Cup in the bin. Total disrespect. Considering he won it, right? Not his team, so don't give me that one. Yeah, it wasn't his team, it was Emery's team. He got lucky because Sheffield United, because of VAR, let's put it there, VAR, had 2 goals disallowed, right? We got lucky against a pretty poor Man City team in the semi-final. And then we got in and we beat Chelsea, which we normally do in the FA Cup anyway. Just throwing that out there. But yeah, no, I agree with you, man. I agree with you. I think the replay should be there.
Yeah.
On that other note, guys, would you help out Man United because their roofs are leaking at Old Trafford? Would you help them?
I was going to say that as well. Yeah. And the toilets, got to sort the toilets because piss is going. I mean, their fans are full of piss anyway, but full of shit. Sorry. So that's leaking as well.
The lights ain't working properly. You know, it's infested with rats. Can we help out there?
It's doing well so far. Doing well.
And I still have to let the fans in.
Club.
Yeah.
Everything that is Manchester United just isn't working at the moment.
Well,
just everything. I'm pretty sure one of the front doors at Carrington's probably broken as well. Probably doesn't open.
Southgate will sort it, mate. Don't worry.
Exactly that.
He'll sort the door by walking face first into it and shattering it. He'll be like, "What? I fixed your door problem. You ain't got a door."
Good afternoon, Lawrence from Kentucky, USA. I've just got back from talking myself out of jumping off a bridge, mate. Yeah, our game wasn't the greatest. Enough said on that one, I think. Lucky enough, Jack couldn't make tonight. Because we don't want to hear the end of that. Big up, Jess.
I
know, Anthony. It's the gate which seats the smaller clubs loses, strengthens and divide as always. And David James says, never been a fan of replays, so I'm not losing sleep over this, to be honest. It's the bigger pitch, though, isn't it? I mean, the bigger clubs always financially gain, the smaller clubs, they're always going to suffer at the end of the day. And this is so they reckon by doing this. This is the funny part about it, going by that comment there. They reckon they can actually plough more money into grassroots football by not doing the replays. So what stopped them before? Because they promised that 2 or 3 seasons back.
More money?
The Premier League and the EFL, apparently, so they say.
I don't believe that.
I can't see it coming. I say they reckon they mentioned this 2-3 seasons ago. I have not seen that money come down to grassroots.
No.
No.
No. Bullshit.
It's just lip service, isn't it?
course it
We'll
is.
say this thing. More money will filter down. Where is it then? What's the structure? Where's the plan to filter this money? Where's it coming from? How's it being raised? They're going to put a levy on the Premier League clubs to put that. Why don't they do it anyway?
Well, they make enough money as it is, Jeff. So I mean, there's no excuses really.
I don't
That's
know.
all.
Take 5% of your TV money has to go filter down to whatever lower league football or non-league football or whatever it is. They could do it easily, right? They don't do it, and then they pull a stunt like this, where we're talking about the Maidstone Uniteds and whoever who finally get themselves into the 3rd and 4th round,
Yeah, Stefan.
right? And now they get robbed of that extra revenue. One game here and there. I just, and if it's about filtering money down, why, as you said, why don't they do it? Why haven't they done it already?
The
That
thing
makes
is,
sense to me.
what annoys me, right, is I see this narrative every once a year. Yeah, Arsenal Football Club invest £1 million into local football. Wow.
Into dog food, you mean?
We bloody do. £1 million. £1 million. £1 million. Yeah, £1 million. Yeah, wow. A club that makes God knows how much money a year, over 600 million plus in revenue, and you can afford to give £1 million into local football.
Yeah.
It's nothing. That's an insignificant amount of money. And yet you know, one of the biggest, well, okay, I'm just going to say it, biggest club in London, right? Yeah. And you're giving £1 million to local football. Wow. Well done, people.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Well done, Josh Kroenke. Well done. Yeah. How often do you turn up and support the local kids or local women's teams, amateur teams, or men's teams? Do you ever go? No, you don't ever bleed and turn up at the Emirates. So
That's true, isn't it? Yeah.
done,
Yeah,
boys.
it's true. We're their investment policy on the side at Arsenal with the Cronkies. They don't care what anybody says. That's my opinion of them. And it's like, I mean, they've already come out and said they're going to give Mikel Arteta 200 million to spend next season. Maybe it could go on to 250. But it's like what I said on our show too. I've said it on Jed's show when I've been on Jed's show. If he spends that 250, that's his first £1 billion he spent at Arsenal.
And
No,
what-
that,
And that's
no
no,
manager. Even Arsene Wenger didn't do that.
no.
And the thing is, for that £1 billion, if you do spend £1 billion, what's he got to show for it?
But cool.
He'll
honestly,
probably buy most of Sheffield United players, thinking that he can actually make something out of them.
Love Arteta. Oh dear. I mean, obviously, midweek we had the Europe games. We'll start off with Arsenal's game. I mean, it wasn't how you wanted it to be. I mean, how did you two feel? I mean, you know, did you feel? I mean, we spoke earlier, Jez. You feel like you was confident he was going to get something out of it, but it just didn't go to plan, did it?
No. Too many players, that just didn't look up for it. Sorry to have to say it. I know the Arteta and the Arteta-inners, and they love Saka, mate. This guy is not what he's made out to be. He's done at the moment. He's burnt out, and it happens every single. And I'm not blaming him right now, right? Right, because at the end of the day, this happened last year and it happened the year before. This time of year, you can't keep playing him for 90 minutes every game. You can't do that with any player. Because at the end of the day, they will break down. And he came on against Bayern Munich. He was limping before the game, right? He came on against Wolves yesterday. He's limping. And people are telling me, oh, this thing about this supposed Achilles injury is all bullshit. Well, the guy's limping.
Yeah.
Is he faking it? I don't think so. But it happened for the last 2 seasons. Because why? Why, people? Why? Because you haven't trusted a player to replace him. Or is it the fact you didn't buy a player to replace him, to actually support him, is what I mean. You could have brought on ESR there yesterday. Wolves had nothing up front. Nothing at all. So you could have sat him on the bench or not even selected him, right? Because you don't trust your bench because you bought most of them. You bought them, Arteta, but you don't trust them. Well, what's that saying? It says to me, you are not good enough. Because at the end of the day, I'm sorry, you are going to cost us this Premier League. Because if you'd invested properly last summer, let's forget January, forget that one, right? If you'd invested, it'd be a different story. Oh, and we didn't get a striker. 3 years on the bounce. We didn't buy a striker.
Don't need them, Jez. They don't score goals. They're not needed to score goals.
So I'm led to believe. So I'm led to be told, right? Oh no, it's fine. It's fine. Oh no, because we've got scoring. We've got Jesus scoring like 9 goals a season. Wow.
Got Nketiah wearing Henry's number.
Martinelli, right? And then we get Gabriel bangs in a couple from a corner. Oh, what's happened to our corners, by the way? We were the best team in the Premier League in scoring at corners. Can't even get one now. What's happened there then?
Exactly.
And the thing is, before I shut up, I'm waffling, right? One thing that winds me up about this manager, and I've been supporting him from Christmas. I've given him top scores. I said, yeah, mate, well done. Fair play to you. I don't hate you personally because I've never met you. I hate your style of football at times because you're arrogant, right? And I said to him before the Villa game, right? I said on my stream, don't tinker with the team. And what did he bloody do? He tinkered with it and cost us. Crystal Palace, man. And you can see I'm still angry about that result.
Yeah.
I'm angry because Crystal Palace have gone to Anfield, given us literally turned round and said, there you are, Arsenal, there's 3 points for you. Right? And we couldn't get the job done. Yeah? And the fact that Villa game, I'm going to bring this up once again. I don't get it. I saw it yesterday at that FA Cup semi-final. What are these fans doing, right? At half time, going up, having a pint, having a quick piss, right? And yet you're walking back into the ground at 10 minutes later. What are you doing? You're at an FA Cup semi-final. And you're pontificating on the bloody out there, right? You're not in your seat at the start of the second half. That game against Villa, I saw Arsenal fans, the ones that are telling me to trust the process, Jez, trust the process. And you're walking out, man, at 86 minutes. 92 minutes, right? I can see the cannon in the seats. Yeah? And when Kenny contacted me after that game, just right after the game, he said, Jez, I think there's less than about 100 people in the stadium.
Bloody hell.
And they've all pissed off. And you're telling me, oh, but Jez, you don't know. Oh, we just got to support the club. Trust the process. Fuck off. Don't tell me. Sorry.
No, it's right. I mean, like, you know, just go by top four as a trophy. It kind of blends into what you're saying, Jez. And you're right to vent your frustration as a fan. I mean, like, you know, 700 million spent in 4.5 years. Where's that good Saka backup? Where's that Alba replacement? State of the bench is laughable. I mean, that's where it's become there for you guys by the looks of it. I mean, like as Arsenal Medic says, only Odegaard, Trossard, and Rafa have been decent. The rest have been pants.
Yeah.
Anthony, what's your view on you know the week, you know, the Europe game plus obviously the Villa game?
Well, I'll be honest with you. I actually predicted we would get to the quarterfinals, and I said anything after that, semi-finals, finals, to me was a bonus. I knew we weren't going to win the Champions League because we haven't even got depth in our team. We haven't got it. If we had it, like what Jess was saying, we'd have brought a player on for backup for Saka during his injury. But listen, we haven't got that. I'm not going to go much into the Champions League game too. They got as far as where I expected them to go, and that was it. Now, the Villa game is a different story altogether. I was actually on Jed's show when he actually said that, don't tinker with the team. And what did he do? He went and tinkered with it. You know, bringing Havertz back into the midfield area, Jesus up front. You know, it doesn't work. Trossard started that game in the Wolves game, and he scored. Look at the piece of a goal he scored. I'd rather start him, to be honest with you, up front. I really would. But then again, with Havertz up front, he does cause problem with in that 18-yard box. You know, he splits the defence up, and then we can exploit the gaps. And that's what we've been doing. That's how we've been winning our games, 5-0, 6-0, and all that. But I mean, do you know what? I think it might be that game can come back and reflect our Premier League hopes. To be honest with you, that Aston Villa won at the minute. And listen, Unai Emery, he's got that team working. He hasn't really spent much money. Hasn't really bought any top quality players in. But you know, he's got on with it, and look at them now. And they deserve that fourth spot to play in the Champions League, if you ask me. And all I know is, if Unai Emery was the Arsenal manager last season and this season, Arsenal would have won 2 Premier Leagues.
Yep.
That's a fact.
Yeah. I'm obviously going to ask from a neutral point of view here, so I'm going to go to your brother. Richard, what do you think about obviously seeing Arsenal during the week? What was your kind of thoughts on how they were playing?
I thought it was brilliant to start off. I only watched the second half, and to me, they looked like they didn't want it. They looked like gutless. They looked tired. They had no motivation in the team or nothing, and that shocked me because this Bayern Munich team ain't the team they were 7-8 years ago, and I thought Arsenal could have gone over there and got something, but. Watching them, I agree with the Arsenal lad there and everything. They were flat. Everything they just didn't get going at all. They didn't get from the off really to me. But I think they've improved this season with their football. It's been better than last season, and you know they've put some teams to bed and everything. But again, you look at sides like Man City and stuff like that. They got the depth in the squads, and I think this is no telling with Arsenal. They got no sort of backup for tired players, injuries, suspensions, or anything. They haven't got it there. I mean, I like the last Smith Rowe. I thought last season he come on and everything, and I thought he looked a very good player, but he's frozen out a lot, hasn't he?
Yeah, no, exactly. Well, there's been a few players. I mean, obviously, you're going to come to the central three. Start with you, yeah. I mean, obviously, you know, I know you do a lot of watch-alongs with Jez, but looking at how Arsenal started off the season and how they are now, I mean, do you think they are where they're supposed to be, or do you think it's all you feeling?
Butlers.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. I mean, they are bottlers. I mean, the thing is, I mean, they want us to do them a favour and stuff like that. They don't ever do us any favours. I mean, chuck us some money or whatever. So, you know, hopefully we can beat Man City, but that's more for us, not for them pricks, to be fair. You know, so, you know, hopefully that works out that way. The game against Bayern Munich, I actually thought they came out really well, to be fair. I was expecting them to fold. And then eventually when Bayern Munich starts putting it on them, They ain't got the bollocks, and they've never had the bollocks, and they just don't have that kind of mentality. So, they're relying on us now to actually take on City and get something. Don't know if you watched our games, but if you watch the way we defend, I think you're whistling up the wrong tree there, guys, to be fair, because I don't see that happening at all in a million fucking years. And Forest Clan, who keeps going on about us being rule breakers and all this, that, and the other, you're a twat.
100%. Yeah, agree on that one. I mean, Fuzzy,
you
would
look
you?
at it, this is
Go on,
sorry,
mate, sorry.
Scotland. I mean, you look at it this season. I mean, Palace did us a favour this season. Last season, it was Nottingham Forest, and we still ballsed it up.
Yeah.
Do you know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like what I said. No matter it could be offered to Arsenal on the plate, and we'll just take that plate and we'll just drop it.
Yeah. Not good, is it?
Yeah.
Fuzzy, what do you make of Arsenal's rise and demise in certain respects?
Oh, sometimes it makes me feel a little bit better about being a Man United fan in the moments. In the moments, get a bit of the roller coaster syndrome that United have had pretty much since August. But yeah, for me, there's a knack with this Arsenal team where it's like they get to certain games and they drop a level of intensity. And one thing that I always got, like the biggest compliment that I had to give to this Arsenal team in the last year and a half, is that they can play up to a great level of intensity, and when they do so, no one else really in the league, maybe barring Man City, in some cases Liverpool, can live up to it. No one can really match it. So I don't really get why this Arsenal team sort of changes its makeup when it goes into a certain game where the objective is the same and the execution should be the same, but a different team turns up, like going into the Aston Villa game.
Yeah.
Like, why is it that Arsenal feel less incentive to give everything on that pitch, to play at 110%, to then end up losing? That kicks you straight in. It basically, the Villa result has kicked you in the nuts, first and foremost. You're on your knees going into the Bayern game midweek. And the game is not done. Our Manchester United team went out there and put 3 past Bayern.
Yeah.
If you get at that team, you'll beat them. Quite convincingly too. And I thought there was potential to do that, but Arsenal and Arteta's got to know how to pull those strings. And that's a Bayern team that was missing a few key instrumental pieces as well. So Arsenal had quite a big opportunity right there in front of them and not taken. And for many things, I really feel like with this Arsenal team, again, they are their own biggest enemies.
100%.
We saw that via individuals in the first leg, both the centre-backs, crazy moments, in certain areas of the game. In the second game, I thought Saka's giving me Rashford vibes, man. He's giving me Rashford
Saka's
vibes.
shit, mate. Saka's shit.
He's I don't know what it is. It's some players in the Premier League at the moment. They get their big wages and they've got a huge amount of talent, but then out of nowhere they drop stinker after stinker after stinker, and you think someone's got to talk to them and say, get your head out of this rut. Start being productive. If something for you on that pitch isn't working for you as an individual, do something different. Change the little things, right, to keep up to speed with the game. But they don't. They become stale. And Bukayo Saka can very quickly go from hot prospect, one of the best wingers in the world, to being another face in the crowd in the Premier League that so happens to play in a wide position.
Yeah, one-trick pony.
Yeah, not looking good. I mean, Jeff, do you agree with most of the comments that the panel said so far?
We're a tractor down, by the way.
Yeah, just seen that. Yeah, seen that.
Tractor broke down.
Yeah, I agree pretty much with everything Fuzzy said in regards to the Bayern Munich game. I had a couple of gooners here and we watched the game on Wednesday, and one thing that struck me was on the end of it, neither goalkeeper really had anything to do. And I thought it turned out to be, in that respect, a bit of a non-event, really. I was expecting a lot more. Probably from both teams, if I'm honest. And Bayern just sort of fell over the line, really, in a way. And yeah, I just thought Arsenal would offer more. It was a massive opportunity for them, and they just didn't seem to bring it. And I don't get it.
Back in a sec.
No way, mate. Yeah, it was a bit of a strange one because it looked like it was Arsenal's hand for me, but yeah, that second leg, I don't know. You know, started off well in the first half, and it seemed to be some of the changes he makes all the time. It's costing Arsenal, and it's the manager that's at fault. But then you can't always kind of look at him. It's also the players as well, really. Just want to bring this one up for you. Top four as a trophies. Imagine where Emery would be in 4.5 years at time at Villa. In 2 years, taking them from the relegation zone to a Champions League spot, spending a fraction of what Arteta has. And I know your comments on this, Jez, you've always said about Emery, haven't you, yourself?
I didn't want him to go.
Yeah.
You look what he's done against Arsenal, not just at Villa, when he was at Villarreal. You know, he respect to the man. When he beat us at the Emirates, he didn't go walking, jumping around the pitch. He just quietly slipped away. He shook Arteta's hand and sodded off.
Yeah.
You know, and I respect the man for that, because at the end of the day, he could have been out there dancing up and down on that pitch in front of the Arsenal fans who wanted him out. Why did you want him out? He's a proven winner. He'd won in Europe. He'd done stuff. And yet these supposed Arsenal fans wanted him out. Oh, what? Because he can't speak proper English? Really? Who gives a shit? Who gives a shit about that? Right? The man is a winner. And he has a proven way of winning, which Villa have now got. And they will go on. They will go on. And I think they will do very well. And good luck to them, in my opinion. Yeah. Bloody good luck to them.
I mean, he's won 7 Europa Leagues. He won PSG League before he left them and came to us. And it's like what I say, with a decent manager, look, you just got to look at their CVs. Just look at the CV. It's like when we go to a job interview and we're chatting to the guy, the manager, and you know, you're having a decent chat, decent conversation. And as soon as you put your CV in front of him and he likes it, you know, that's it. You're guaranteed the job. And that's what happened to Unai Emery. CV, got the job, and what happened? Most of our fan base weren't happy with him, and they bombed him out. Which, in all fairness, we were 8th when we sacked him. We finished 8th that season, and then we finished 8th the season after that under Mikel Arteta.
No,
do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
So
exactly.
There was no signs of improvement there. It's only because the Cronkies has backed Arteta with the money that he's spent. Yeah. But now it's like what I said. If he's there next season, he spends that money. He gets £1 billion spent for one FA Cup win. So if one FA Cup win is going to cost us £1 billion, yeah, then I'm not really looking forward to next season, but I'll certainly see what next season brings. It might bring us nothing, Tim. It might even bring us a trophy. But there you go. What do I know?
Well, I mean, there's a question there. Good comment. Lone Star Londoner. Emery got himself fired at Arsenal. How? How did he get himself fired? How? What did he do wrong?
I mean, he had a lot of deadwood there, Jez, didn't he? And we got to Europa League final against Chelsea. Look at we had Colin Jenkinson right back. Let's be honest. I mean, but look, I mean, he got us to a final in the Europa League, lost 4-1 to Chelsea, but you can't exactly necessarily blame him for that because these were all the players we knew we wanted out of our bloody club anyway. So
how did he get himself sacked? I don't understand the comment. I don't get it, man. I don't get it.
You call Wenger a wanker.
The thing is, that point. Just go back to that statement there, Tony.
Which one?
Arsenal have been great. Arsenal have been great since the new year.
That one, yeah.
Mate, the season doesn't start on the 1st of January, right? It starts in August. Yeah? I've seen this excuse all the flaming time, right? The season starts in August, not at the 1st of January. Last year, all the bullshit stats that are out there. Oh, look at this. Arsenal have done this. We're top of the league because of this. Yeah, since January.
No,
right?
exactly.
Season starts in August. Well, don't you know that? Do you not understand how football works? Yeah,
That's true.
You're telling me. How did come answer my question? How did Emery get sacked? How did he sack himself, rather?
Hopefully we'll find that one out as if the answer's in there. But yeah, quick one on this one. Obviously, Pepsi Pack, as he says, enough of Arsenal. Let's talk about West Ham. Yes.
Just one more thing, guys. Jez, I'm not listening to you having a go at Arteta like that because he won the dinner plate and you didn't. So let's not be having that.
And he said he dropped it.
Yeah.
Honestly, you can't make it up, can you?
I mean, obviously,
all true August champions.
There you go. There they are.
Yeah, he just didn't win it on Football Manager.
No, got bashed up.
there you got 5-1. Collins 8, I said.
Well, if you look at our result today, losing 5-2, I mean, it just sums West Ham up really because I think you can see it coming. You see him basically do fairly well in the Europa League, but then he made some changes, and then actually you see us. He was valiant, but not enough, to let him score. But in the first half of that, the London Stadium, really, West Ham should have put it to bed. And Leverkusen's record could have been broken at that stage, and we'd be the only team that have done it so far. And they went on now 44 league, a run of unbeaten games. So you've got to give hats off to Leverkusen. I mean, great side. There's no two ways about it. But West Ham should really have got something out of that game on Thursday. I mean, did any of you guys watch the game? Apart from Jeff, obviously.
Big up Unique. I didn't watch it, to be fair.
No.
Yeah, I mean, the first half it was us. And you got to see Leverkusen, they were rattled a little bit. But come the second half, you can see, just like Arsenal, we've got an ancient weak bench. And basically, Leverkusen just turned up the tap a little bit. And then before you know it, it was what it was. I mean, Jeff, what's your comments on that game?
Fantastic first half. We had them. They were really, really rattled. They were at 6s and 7s. They didn't know which way was up. So much so, Alonso changed one of his centre halves after 25, 30 minutes. He was absolutely getting torn a new one. He made 2 more substitutions half time. He changed the shape a little bit, and it kind of changed the game. And that is the difference, I think, between Moyes and Alonso, and the squad depth that he has and the lack of squad depth that we have. And there's no way we could probably continue in that game for 90 minutes the way we did for 45. And we didn't really have to, but we lost all momentum.
Yeah.
And they ended up kind of seeing the game out. They got a bit of scrappy goal at the end to get their draw, which they maybe just about deserved on the night. But from our perspective, disappointing to... I don't know if it had been more disappointing to win that game 1-0 and get knocked out and say we beat them, or it and lose. Either way, we were out.
I think I'll take the fact of, if we play, we gave them a game and we won 1-0, but still knocked out. I'll be happy with that in certain respects, because at least we gave it a go. That's the thing for me. You don't mind that.
I did give it a go,
but
we just ran out of steam. I think.
Yeah, we've got nothing in there. Nothing in there at all. Good evening to Meta Football TV. Hope we're all well. We are indeed. We're all keeping well.
I think the biggest thing that you guys have got to worry about is like who you maybe people are going to pluck from you, after the season sort of thing.
Yes.
In the transfer window, like Paqueta, for instance.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
pay the price, aren't they?
Man City
probably goes, but they're going to pay for it.
Yeah.
Man City wants him. Apparently they're going to put an £80 million bid in for him.
Yeah,
I read that Friday.
That's ridiculous, though. They're on 155 charges, yet they can still keep signing players. So where is the problem? Where is the issue there? These charges, in my opinion, when you're on these charges, even us, if you're on these charges, you should have a transfer embargo. You shouldn't be able to keep building your team while you're on these charges. I'm sorry, you shouldn't be able to do it.
Yeah. Chelsea got it. They had a transfer embargo.
Yeah. That should be the case. Otherwise, and the thing is, if you had a transfer embargo on it, you'd have the clubs fighting to get it sorted out as well.
Yeah. News in Spain about Emery is that he didn't manage to fit in at Arsenal, which made things difficult. Interesting comment.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, it's interesting.
A bit like Jose at Man United.
He did go 15 games unbeaten.
Yes. He's a good manager. He's a damn good manager.
The league after 15 games unbeaten. Everybody conveniently forgets that.
And also as well, just going back onto that Bayern Munich Arsenal game, the very first game, Sane was the main man. What they set out to do on the game that was this week was to stop Sane, but then Kimmich starts to play a blinder as well. So, and you could totally see that Arteta just does not have the tactical nous to change things up and make it work in a different way. He's a prick.
Yeah.
Sorry? He's what?
He's a prick. He gets the arsewipe award, this is what you say.
I've got somebody else copying me now.
Yeah. Let's talk about West Ham. Let's never seen Palace score so many goals. Well, it's the biggest result they've ever had. And it's typical of West Ham. We give them the red carpet treatment as always, which is... I mean, obviously, I don't know if you guys, apart from obviously Jeff, I don't know if you guys have been watching the interest in certain respects with West Ham, and you've seen the post-match talks with Moyes after the games. For me, it just stinks that he's off. I don't think he's going to be hanging around.
Yeah. Nah.
The question is then, who do we get in?
Gareth Southgate.
Arteta, mate, you can have him.
Yeah. Yeah,
I reckon you lot will get Graham Potter.
Get Cooper. He's been sacked, apparently.
Get Gareth. Get Super Gareth.
I think Potter's a good shot, to be fair.
I don't think it'd be too bad in that. Just before we go on that, just want to say for Jez, nearly 6,000 subscribers coming up. So if you haven't already, guys, make sure you head his way and give him a little lick up.
Absolutely.
Let's get into that. Let's get into that 6,000 score.
Yeah,
you've got to see him there.
Just give him a little lick up.
A lick of the like. You know what I mean?
I don't know if Jez wants us going around and
Look, I just
You get yourself
Well,
6,000 subs, Jez.
Yeah.
Mate,
Give him a lift up.
You heard
Yeah,
it.
give Jazz a lick.
You heard it here first. And by the way, this is water. By the way, I'll just let you know that now.
Stream the Yeti, mate. You get all of that. You know, he's even going to try and show me his suspenders today. You know what
Hey, wait, mate.
I've seen it.
I'm telling you. You know what I mean?
Big up to you, Tom FFD, till I die. Good seeing you. Hope you're keeping well.
Big up.
And also, just let you know in the chat, we will be putting the link in the description of all these guys that's on the panel. So if you're not seeing, make sure you go over to their channels afterwards and give them a lick as well. They all like licks.
40 licks.
Yeah. Just call us lollipops.
Exactly.
Facts.
Disabled teams, evening Stu, he's put a good comment here. West Ham did the fans proud against Leverkusen and made the fan despair today's talk about chocolate. Yeah, it was. Today's definitely about that.
Well, Cornet was good. Well, he looked really on it from what I could see
Do you
today.
think they were fatigued? Do you think they were a little bit fatigued?
It possibly
They
is
were.
that, Chiz, because, you got to think, we have got quite an old side. I mean, what's the youngest player? It's got to be 24, I do believe, but the oldest is, most of them are in their 30s. Antonio's 34. Bonner's, I think he's 32, Jeff Bonner?
Oh yeah, God knows. He looked like he was ready for his picture today. He was so exposed. Cresswell actually came on second half and against Leverkusen and against Palace today. He didn't do too bad, but he is past his best, right? No doubt.
Yeah.
Emerson was poor today. Soufal's exposed. Zuma and Ogbonna were just oh my god, scary, awful. Souček, Ward-Prowse, even Alvarez, they all looked off of it. Sometimes they looked like they couldn't give a shit, which was a bit.
Yeah. That's what winds you up.
5-2 flattered us today. I'll say that much.
Especially Dean Anderson.
They scored our second goal for us. I mean, so fair play to them for that, right? But they could have had 7, 8, however many. We were dreadful. We were on the back end of an absolute hiding.
That Glasner looks like he could be a bit special, though, to be fair.
Yeah, I agree on that. He's got him playing some, he's actually kind of, in a short period of time, he's got him playing some decent football.
Yeah.
Which I think they needed when you think about it. I mean, no disrespect to Roy Hodgson, but you could tell he should never have gone back there in the first place, in my eyes. That was just a gimmick, I think, more than anything else.
Yeah.
Eze was brilliant today, but I mean, we stood around and watched him play for most of the game, to be fair.
Yeah,
But he
and
was
that's
brilliant.
that's the issue, isn't it? I mean, it's same as like the second goal for Everton. We just stood and watched McNeil.
Yeah, what was that about?
I don't know, mate. I was going absolutely fucking nuts because I can't stand that. Get in, kick him in the head. Do whatever you've got to do, just stop him shooting. And nobody went anywhere near him. They just ran alongside him like there was gay in the fields and all that kind of stuff, hand in hand and all. Give me a break.
No, Reece, you can keep hold of him. You're quite welcome to keep hold of Arteta for just a little bit longer. I mean, at least Gibbs White and who's the other fella that they both clashed heads. I mean, at least they come off all right. I mean, it seems like he's the Everton player is going to be okay. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it was like an head to head. I don't think I was kind of glad that Morgan Gibbs White was okay, to be fair, and obviously, I'm glad that the other guy's okay as well because he gave a thumbs up to say he was okay. So. Fair play on that one.
Surprised he didn't give Everton a penalty for that.
Well, yeah, he was outside the box, and the way the game went, it probably would have given him a penalty, to be fair.
I used to say Pochettino to West Ham. Imagine that one. Oof, I don't know. Gooner, we are. Arteta West Ham. Here we go. Yeah, they're all giving it now. Thanks, Jez, for that comment on him. Coming to us.
I'll drive him down. I'll drive him, mate. I'll drive him down to the London Stadium. Don't you worry. It won't cost you no money. Seriously.
Can't drive him in your missus's car because she ain't got no petrol in it, apparently.
True.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Nick's
Well, I can see it like this, Jez. You'll be driving Arteta, and Anthony will be fucking driving in Nketiah to us as well, by the looks of it.
I can imagine that. Jez
I'd let
drives-
Nketiah walk, to be honest.
I could just
Yeah, I
imagine
wouldn't even
that.
give him a fucking bus certificate there.
I could just imagine. I could see it. Jez driving Mikel Arteta down to the London Stadium, and Mikel Arteta's first press match conference is talking about the journey that he was driven on by Jez through the streets of London, explaining the routes, explaining the sights, the sound, the smells.
The trouble is, mate, he wouldn't see it. He'd be in the boot. He'd be gaffer tape down there. He'd be gaffer taping his hands behind the back and his legs together. Like, just get him out. There you go, fella. See you later. Bye.
Jez bringing his fetishes out again.
Yeah.
I reckon he would come out the boot saying, Jez, this is a disgrace, man. This is unbelievable, embarrassing. You said I'd be in the front seat, not in the
Reece has got a question for you, Jez. If we go trophyless again this season, what would it take to get Arteta out?
Mate, it will be the fans. It will be eventually the fans will turn. And let me just explain that to you.
Been saying this for 5 years.
Kenny goes every home game, yeah, right. And he's told me the fans. There are certain rumours and mutterings behind the scenes that people are getting a little bit pissed off, right? And it will take the fans at the end of the day, because all the time, right, the fans are filling the seats, yeah. Then. No, you wouldn't put my blood pressure up, fella. You wouldn't put my blood pressure up.
It works for me, mate. So you're not going to put his blood pressure up.
I've had far worse. The fact is, it took the fans to get Arsene Wenger out because they were frustrated, right? And it will come a point in time. Yeah, there will come. I'm not saying this year, this season, right? But if he will be, Arteta will be here next season. Yeah,
20 years later, Jez is going to be like, they're going to turn. They're going to turn.
I'll be dead by then. I'll be dead. Right? But at the end of the day, it will be the fans. It's always the fans that get the manager out. Yeah? Apart from one, that was George Graham, because he did misdemeanors where he had to go because of the FA inquiries, right? Bertie Mee was got out by the fans, yeah? I'm talking about in my lifetime, what I know. Terry Neal was booted out by the fans, right? Yeah, George Graham was a different story altogether, right? Arsene Wenger was booted out by the fans because they weren't bums on seats. And it wasn't and people have said to me, no, I don't agree with you on that because the fans had paid. Yeah, but they didn't turn up. So they're not spending money in the armory shop. They're not spending money on the concourse when you're getting ripped off pints of beer, wine, burger and chips, God knows what else, right? That's what costs the club. When you've got the accountants looking at the balance sheet, they're getting, oh fuck me, we didn't. Oh, normally on a Saturday, we'd take 2.5 million on the concourse. Oh, today we only took 750,000. That's what hurts the owners, right? Because they are money men.
Yeah,
right?
of course they are. Yeah, absolutely.
And
Yeah,
when-
And they're coining it in as well. So
Yeah.
I don't see no reason why they're going to get rid of Arteta, because they're coining it in at the minute, and they've got a front man who takes all the shit.
Mm.
you know, the argument, if you pay, let's say, right, £3,000 a year for your season ticket, right? Yeah, you pay that up front, okay? Or you pay it on direct debit, however, whatever. Yeah. If you don't turn up, yeah, and you're not spending the money on the concourse, that's what hurts the club.
Yeah.
They need that money, and if you're not there, well, it doesn't matter whether you paid £3,000, right, for your ticket. It's the revenue they're not getting on match day.
That's true.
They're not selling shirts. They're not selling scarves. They're not selling. They're not all that. That hurts the club, and that's when the club look at it and go, "Oh, the board are looking. Well, fucking hell, normally on match day, that's 2 million."
Yeah.
Just want to say big up to James, E20 Zone TV. James, I've sent the link to you on X. If you're going to look through that, mate, you're quite welcome to come on, matey, and give your comments on West Ham. So we look forward to that one. No, you're right, Jez. I mean, at the end of the day, it's quite unique in the fact, and no doubt it probably flies to Forest and Man U, but, especially for being London clubs, we've got a kind of common connection, a weak bench and... two managers that are not a kind of shit that want to, basically, where's the ambition now? I mean, like I say, for me, Moyes looks like he wants to move on, and Arteta, he's digging his heels in.
It's shocking, really, that Arsenal don't have a George Graham statue.
Yeah,
absolutely shocking.
True.
I mean, best manager Arsenal's had 6 trophies in 8 years.
Yeah. I mean, do you agree? I mean, obviously, Unique 79, good seeing you, matey, as well. The fan base of the football clubs. I mean, obviously, I can only talk about when Arsenal spanked us 6-0, we was leaving by half time. So when you look at something like that, we've had this debate on that one. Whereas, as Jez said earlier on, you literally have, 87, 88 minutes, Jez, and they're walking out.
86
minutes. 86.
By 92 minutes, Kenny called me. Right. He's in where he is, just by the North Bank. He said, Jez, there's about 92 people in here, and they've all fucked off. And these are the people, right? These are the people that are telling me to follow the process. Really?
Trust the process.
You're telling me that I don't know what I'm talking about, right? And you're telling me to follow the process. I'm not a comment there from Lone Star London. Junival comments about Arteta. He's 5 games for a title. Stop moaning like this. Mate, he hasn't won nothing. He hasn't done anything. So, I hear what you're telling me. Okay, I'm just questioning whether he will do the job. If he, come and talk to me in May, Lone Star. Come and talk to me. When he hasn't won anything, what are you going to tell me? Oh, we'll go another year then.
He's got good drip.
Go another year, right? So we go another year. Give him another 250 million, which he ain't going to get 250 million, by the way, because of FFP, right? Go and look at the stats. Go and look. If you don't believe me, Lone Star, go and look at the bank balances. The money is there, but they cannot spend it, right? Because of FFP. Because why are we under FFP? Going to come under FFP? We didn't do anything in January, right? Because we'd have broken the regulations. Because we buy players at great money, big money, and we sell them for nothing. Or we cancel contracts, right? We just cut them. Yeah. That costs you in FFP. If you buy a player, Havertz, for £65 million, you have to sell that player at least 30 million to come within the FFP regulations. Go and look at it for yourself. It's all on the government website. Go and have a look at Company's House. I'm not lying.
They can't read, Jez. They can't read. Are you mad?
There, in black and white. Look at the accounts, right? Look at the accounts. It's all there. He's not going to get another £250 million. He'll be lucky, unless he sells some players for big money, right? Which he can then add into that FFP, Profit and Sustainability Program. Yeah, right. And who's going to want to pay big money for some of these players?
Exactly. Just want to introduce James here from E20 Zone TV. Thanks for coming in, mate.
No worries, all man.
Good to
How
see
you
you.
doing, buddy?
Hey, Dan. I'm not doing good today. I know that. that's another fucking story, isn't it? Let's be real. What are you saying?
So let's hear your view on West Ham and where we are at the moment, James.
Embarrassing. I think this "be careful what you wish for" is the biggest load of shite I've ever heard in my life. When we left Upton Park 8 years ago, we left for a purpose. And that purpose was to become a top 10, top 8 side. I think we've done okay over the last few years, but currently right now, it's like the empire's starting to fall all around us and we're all caving in. A lot of this is on Moyes, a lot of this is on the ownership of the club, a lot of it is on a lot of things. But the issue is that our owners, who destroyed Birmingham City many years ago, they're trying to destroy West Ham from in-house, and to me, that's just not good, if I'm being honest. I thought Palace were very, very good. They deserved to win. They had a player that we tried to sign, but we didn't get. We got Ben Rama, they got Eze. And, yeah, it's just embarrassing, really. I've seen West Ham lose. Listen, I can accept West Ham United losing games of football. I've seen it many times, yeah. But there's losing, and then there's a style of play of losing. And today, we lost, really, was embarrassing. I could have gone over to the Sunday League and found 11 players today in the local park and basically, you know, could have put in a better performance than West Ham did today. As simple as that.
They were shocking.
Yeah. And for me, that falls on the manager, it falls on the recruitment, that falls on a lot of things. Now, it's okay playing good in Europe, and you have a good half in Europe against a Bayer Leverkusen side, but right now, we're going to lose every game from now to the end of the season.
No. Just ask anyone in the power. Has anyone got a TV or a radio on in the background? There's some background noise coming in.
There is some background noise
somewhere.
No, I can hear it as well. Yeah.
Don't know where it's coming from there. Is this AFTV? No, we're a channel for all sorts. As you can see, I've got Forest in here, I've got Man United, and obviously we've got West Ham as well. So I get what you're saying. And we do talk about Arsenal quite a lot, but that's, I think, in the total
We
agreement.
don't talk shit, so we're not AFTV.
You know, that's the main thing. We talk about all sorts. It's all about pure football at the end of the day. That's what we're all about in there. Yeah, and it weren't good at all, James. I mean, we said about this during the week, didn't we? We could just see this coming. How this, Thursday's game was, and where we're going to be on Sunday, and it lived up to it.
It's just shit, bruv, isn't it? Just be real. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. Like, it's just pony, isn't it? Like, listen, I see other people moaning about their clubs and what's going on at their clubs and that. But the problem is with us is that we've got a manager who, on the one hand, people respect for what he's done. On the other hand, people will look at him and think he's ruining what we've done. He should have left. There's just loads of issues, mate. Like, ahead of a lot of issues, and it needs to be sorted out now. And the problem is, you've got, like, with regards to the ownership of West Ham currently right now, they should come out. They should say, right, West Ham United are going to look at our new manager in the future. Moyes is not the man. He's going to see out his remaining contract, and it's going to be done by mutual consent. But he ain't going to do it. And that's that. So it's crap, really.
Well, I will say, like, on today's performance, I mean, we were absolutely shocking from back to front. Antonio's touch was, you're right, you could go down the park Sunday morning and find someone who's got a better fucking touch than he had today. Everything was bouncing off him. I think he's been brilliant since he come back from his injury, but he wasn't good today. And that worked all the way back to Fabianski, who near enough fucking threw 2 in today.
There's losing games.
And he's been brilliant, by the way, Fabianski. He stepped in for Areola and he's been brilliant. He's played really well.
Yeah.
But he was shocking today. And
but
everyone in between was as well. That guitar, rubbish.
Yeah, but there's losing games, Jeff. Right, and there's losing like today. Like, listen, if we've held 5, we've held 6, we've held a lot of sort of games where we've been slapped. And I can accept losing, but there's got to, like, against Crystal Palace. There's no disrespect to Crystal Palace, but Crystal Palace, that's the first time they scored 5 in the Premier League, I think.
Yeah, and they could have had many more. They really could. If their finishing was a little bit better, they could have had 3 more at least. And 2 flattered us. We're lucky. We're lucky they knocked 1 in for us.
I agree.
It was dreadful. Dreadful performance today.
What was the Wenger
unacceptable, actually.
What were you on about, man? There is a Wenger statue. It's been unveiled back in bloody January.
Yeah, I think they just kind of said that to him and that. Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Man, turn up at the club and see it. Man, this is what makes me laugh. People sit there and talk to me about Arsenal, right? And you're like, we haven't got another Wenger statue? Really? Well, there's one there. Right there. Seriously, get out of here. Get out of here, man.
Yeah, Lone Star Londoner, you said the Forest fan sounds angrier than a one-legged waitress at IOP. If you think I'm angry at the minute, you've never seen me angry, mate. I'm nowhere near angry.
Seriously.
What are you going to tell me when Tad's win the title? Well, that's the thing, isn't it? From the sandwich game. We all are, mate. We all are. Just getting through the comments on it because they've all gone mad crazy in that so far.
Who's got the stream on in the background?
It sounds like something's going on, yeah.
Yeah, I could hear it as well. I actually muted myself to check it would be.
I think it's FA Cup finalist. I think that's who the guy is.
What you want to do, Joe, is go round and mute everyone until it disappears.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah. I'll have a look. Let me just come out of that.
Yeah, it's gone now.
Yeah. Oh, no, it's back. It's every time we speak, so it's somebody who's got the stream on in the background.
Seems took himself, mate.
It's coming back through somebody's speakers.
Yeah, it is. It's coming back from someone's speakers.
I did so well mute myself. Completely out of it. Let me just try again.
I can hear the fucking clock ticking.
Fuzzy's muted already.
Whose clock's ticking? I'll mute myself and then just keep doing this.
Jez is muted.
This is good entertainment, isn't it?
It's gone now.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gone now.
So it is. It's your brother. It's Richard. Can hear his clock in the background.
That is my clock in the background, yeah.
Fucking hell, that's a live clock, Rich. Jesus, that'd do my head in.
Yeah, me too.
It makes a lot of noise at 5-2. But like the West Ham scores today.
Hey.
Oh, well, okay.
Keep talking anyway for that. Any one of you guys want to talk? Because I think it's coming from Richard. We're getting the feedback from Richard for some reason.
Yeah, it's coming. It's coming from there. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gone now.
It's coming from you, Rich. Is that your? It's a clock, but also it's like a telly as well. Have you got porn on in the background or something? I don't know. What?
We're sat in the kitchen. I've got nothing on. It's just a clock, is it?
Yeah.
All right. Let me take it down a minute. That better? that better?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
it. That's it. No, it's come back
No.
again.
So,
It's something something's been picked up on the speakers.
Yeah. That's weird, isn't
Is
it?
there a
there's a
trouble?
stream, another window open, have you, with the stream?
No.
I don't know then.
Are you watching it on a desktop? Richard, are you watching it on a desktop?
No, I just got my phone's on the table.
No, he's watching from his phone, Jed. It's the same as me. I'm on my mobile phone as well, but there's nothing from my telly's off everything.
It's definitely something's picking. It's picking something up in the background.
Yeah.
It's echoing.
I tried to mute myself and kick myself out. So
Yeah, I see
great.
that one anyway.
No, I'll mute myself.
Bloody hell.
It's
That was
a
weird.
fucking tractor. I can hear it. So it's one of you.
Tractor. It's a tractor.
It is. It's Anthony's tractor. It's gone now. Look.
Yeah, joking here. Yeah, he went last week.
It's gone now.
Mm.
Yeah.
I mean, James, I didn't
Yeah,
see.
what's
I didn't hear Moyes' post-match comments. Did he say anything? Did he look dejected like he has the last two games?
No, he was disgusted, wasn't he? Like, it's the same old stuff. He's disgusted with them and all that. But it's all of them today. It's the players, it's the manager, it's the collective. Like, when you, like, as I said earlier, there's losing games of football, and I can accept losing games of football. Don't get me wrong. As a fan, like, you have to accept it. Do you know what I mean? Because we ain't going to win every time. But today, to not turn up, there's no in-game management. I see James Ward-Prowse come out and do an interview after. Like, where the fuck is our captain? Like, where is the captain of the ship? Like, he's nowhere to be seen. And yeah, it's just going to filter out into an angry fan base at the minute, and it shouldn't be like that, really. And the problem is, I said this, I've been saying this on E20 for a long time. I've said it, I've preached it for a long time. Yeah, back in the summer last year, the ownership of the club had to make a decision. They either back him or sack him. Simple as that. There's no middle ground with it. And to give a man a 1-year deal and just say, "Oh, here you go, we're going to let him run his contract down," right? That, to me, that's not a long-term vision of West Ham United Football Club. That's a short-term vision with no prospect of a future. And we're the 16th richest club on the planet. We're getting 65 in there each week, 65,000 fans each week in, week out. Shouldn't be like this. It shouldn't be like it. And listen, there's personnel. You can look at the January window, and I get that. But as a grand scheme of things, there needs to be someone upstairs who comes down and starts saying what is going on. And to me, no one's saying nothing. Everyone's sitting on their hands and basically wait for the season to finish, and it shouldn't be like that. We shouldn't.
Because that's the thing, isn't it? I mean, everyone's you just want transparency at the end of the day. As long as you get that, we know where we can move forward. But
Agree. I
not
totally agree with you on that, mate. Like, just tell the fans. Just tell us. That's all we asked. Like, all we want to know is what's going on. And there was a question from Rashane Thomas today, the journalist, and he turned around and said, "Do you think this situation will be taken out of your hands?" And Moyes said, "I don't know, but if it is, then fine." So there's a lot of lies going on. There's a lot of shit going on, and we just need to know what's going on, really.
Yeah,
I'll be honest.
of course. Well, just going to
They're
bring
all
one
on
character.
manoeuvres, didn't they?
The other manoeuvre, yeah.
All
yeah.
of them.
Let me just,
Every one of them. Moyes, and Sullivan, Stuyton to some degree. They need to be pulling all in the same direction, and I agree with James. If they're not going to, they should know by now what they're going to do, right? And if they're going to extend his contract, then say that's their intention, or say he's going to be. And there's one thing I'll say about he split the fan base hugely, right? And there's the very vociferous Moyes out crowd, and then there's a very supportive Moyes in section, and whatever happens, the bloke has done what he's done for us. Some people don't want to give him any credit, but I think that if he is leaving, he should have that like, thanks for what you done. Round of applause before he walks out the door, rather than let it linger on. No one knows. Final home game against Luton. No one still knows, right? City game comes over, and then they witter on for a fortnight or 3 weeks, and then they kind of show him out the back door. No, I think that's even more disrespectful to him.
You know
than
what that
anything,
is?
if I'm honest.
You know what that is, Jeff, don't you? It's all to do with the pound note. That's what it's all to do with straight away, yeah? It's all to do with season ticket renewals, right? Because if season ticket renewals are down, then he's going to have to act. Because obviously, if there's no one in the ground, then he ain't going to be happy. It all comes back to a pound note. Now, if West Ham, someone said to me the other day, the season ticket renewal date, I think, ends on the 3rd of June, I think it is.
Yeah.
Or something like
It is,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, something like that. So a decision probably won't be made till then. Yeah. But then you've got the Euros. Yeah. So you got, this is the thing. If Graham Potter is the guy for West Ham, and he's the one that everyone says, oh, you know what, he's available, he can come to West Ham, etc. Why are they not bringing him in now?
Yeah.
Because he could be picked up by anyone in the summer. Like another club could come in and go, bosh, we'll take him, and that's what it is. And to me, it's all to do with money. It all goes back to the season ticket renewals. And for me, it's been a decent season. Like, I know you've got a Crystal Palace fan there, and he's here, but they kicked our ass today, and they deserved it. From minute 1 to minute 97, I think it was. They were a better side, better team, better players, more hungry, and a better manager.
Couldn't argue with any of that.
And the main thing when you look at it, Jack doesn't gloat at all, James. So you'd be all right on this one. He's not going to gloat at all.
He deserves it.
I can't wait.
No.
I can't. Go on, Jack. It's all yours.
Yeah,
No, I'm not.
the stage is yours, Jack. Away you go.
Come on, Jack off.
Oh, you want me to, you dirty git. But I'm not going to gloat. Like, I hate it when people do it to us. So I know how it feels. So I ain't going to do it back. I don't know. I was stunned, to be honest. In the first half an hour, it looked like, to me, a performance of, well, actually, the whole game, a performance of the players weren't playing for him, David Moyes. And then I was like,
We'll come to that, Tony.
oh, like, hold on a minute. They must be half playing for Moyes. They've done it in the Europa League game. They're very good. But when they asked Moyes and they said, "Are you going to use the Europa League? Are you going to use Europa League as an excuse?" And he said, "No, there's no excuses here." So I don't know. We were just better to everything, weren't we? We were better to every ball, every 50-50. Everything. We had what was it? 62% of the ball we had, and then 18 shots or something. Even though he scored, guys, what did you make of Antonio's performance? Even though he scored,
We've got a 34-year-old winner up front who's played left back, right left wing, right wing, centre forward. He can't do it. He can't do 2 games in 72, 96 hours. He just can't do it. It's simple as that. And I feel sorry for him today. Like, he's been the only shining light this season, right, since he's come back from injury for West Ham, because he's come back and he's really had a go. I'll give him his due, Antonio. He really has, even though I do knock him quite a lot. Yeah, but today he can't do it all, mate. He's standing there going, well, you're getting 20% out of Antonio, when the other night he was very good and he was getting no decisions whatsoever. Today, I thought the defence done a job on him also. So, you know.
But you said
I loved Antonio. I loved Antonio when he was playing for us.
You said it yesterday when he played you. That I think today one of the best players on the park for us was Adam Wharton in midfield.
Yeah.
Again, you know,
great boy.
Yeah, 18 million quid we paid for him. And then I think Munoz at right back was good as well. We paid 7 million quid for him. We're very good at making bargain deals, and I've got to say, I think Eze Elise, and the biggest shout out goes to Mateta.
Oh yeah, he's come on leaps and bounds, hasn't he?
Mateta has, since Glasner's come in, Mateta's had 8 games and scored 6 goals. So he seems to.
Eze scissor kicks the main one though. I mean that was fucking beautiful.
Yeah, that was like Hollywood stuff. But do you know what? Him, Elise, and to a degree, Mateta tore us an absolute new one today. We could not cope with them at all.
No, and I was seeing some comments like from West Ham fans saying that starting Bonner at the back was going to be a mistake with his pace and stuff like that. But I don't know. I thought Mateta and that done a job on him today in terms of his hold-up play, and that was quality. So I'm not going to diss anyone. Everyone was quality for us today.
Well, we were just saying earlier, Jack, Glasner's got your guys playing, isn't he? That's the difference. You can see there's a style there.
He's the next German manager in the Premier League that's going to do big things, I think, personally.
I think the thing is, Jack, that you was very good today. Your Palace team were very good today, and we were very poor. Yeah. And as good as you were man for man, we were equally as poor man for man. It was looked a real hangover performance from Thursday night, but I don't want to hide behind that as an excuse because I think they're actually worse than that, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. You see teams play like Aston Villa. They was played Thursday night and they battered Bournemouth. They went 1-0 down and then they just hit the gas. So so everyone for me in my team gets pretty much 10 out of 10 apart from Dean Henderson. But
Dean Henderson. There's a comment here now.
I mean, man of the match.
I just want to put this comment up here from down the tune of Arteta, Mark II, and Eddie Howe. You need him out. He's had enough time now. Would you agree on that?
Not sure.
No, I don't. No, I don't. Not at all. The thing is, the problem is, right, is Arsenal fans, not all of them, think that everybody's got to go for the big thing all the time and stuff like that. And Newcastle are building, they're building. So, and Eddie Howe is part of that. And, so there's no reason to have Eddie Howe out. Just, they're not, just keep fucking loving your Arteta and fucking kissing his arsehole. You know what I mean? Just fucking keep going with that.
Do you know what? It's like with Eddie Howe. Well, they basically, how many seasons have Newcastle had, like, with the money? It's 1 or 2 seasons, isn't it? They can't go out and spend billions.
Look, it's only been there 2 years.
Exactly.
They can't go out there and spend billion and get 15 players in because of FFP. They'll get stung with that. And there's already been talk, isn't it? There's been talk already of them maybe needing to sell a big player because they might have broken FFP rules. So they have to. They have to. Like,
the difference is Newcastle actually have a fucking process, where Arsenal just say process to make everybody happy, And Newcastle actually have a process, so just leave them to it. Just mind your own business and just get on with your own team.
Agreed. I'm a Arsenal fan. I don't even know what the process is. What is the process at Arsenal Football Club? The only thing I know that's process. Yeah, but the only thing I know that's process is a tin of fucking peas. I mean, let's be honest.
Yeah, exactly.
What was the process at Arsenal?
It was a youth project, but it's not anymore.
Top 4.
There is no youth project, though, is there? I mean, he doesn't ever use the youth. I mean, he signs up that Nwaneri for God knows how long, and then he never even gets on the pitch.
All you need to know about he should come out, he should turn around, and he should say, right, the situation is David Moyes.
I think he's talking to somebody else.
Yeah, I think he's got. Yeah.
But no, you look at it. Like, they had Arsenal he had a brilliant season, didn't he? When he came in, Emil Smith Rowe, and then he had an injury. He got bombed out. You haven't seen him really since.
Nah.
He doesn't trust Emil Smith Rowe, and that he doesn't trust him.
But you've got to look at with Newcastle, though, just to jump in there, Jack, there's a factor of you've got to think this season as well, Eddie Howe has virtually had 11 players out injured. He's virtually had a team out.
Very true, very true.
Exactly.
His team was decimated with injuries, to be fair.
Their main centre-half, Sven Botman, isn't it? He's been out for a long time. So, it's... like I said, they can't go out and buy 15 players because they'll get stung, like with the financial rules and all that. which I think is.
Can I just say, Tony? You know, Forest Clan. You keep going on about this thing about Forest doing this, that, and the other. Look, you're probably a Derby fan, so I'm not going to go into you too much because I know you don't know who your parents are because you're all inbred anyway. But what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, did you see Carragher when he was saying it's disgraceful from Forest, all that letter and stuff? And I'm like,
What, the guy that spits at kids?
I said, you're the world's worst. When Liverpool got done at Tottenham, he moaned about it for weeks.
Yeah.
So I don't know what he was on about. He said,
mate, Liverpool are the worst. Liverpool are the worst for crying about things. So I'm never going to listen to a Liverpool fucking person talk about Forest.
To be fair, though, if Liverpool lose the league by 2 points or 1 point, right, and you look back at that decision at Tottenham, it will be outrageous.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, you can see
that.
Forest,
that is true. That is
you
true.
could say today though, for Forest, they could get relegated with them decisions.
We've had a lot of bad decisions this season. I mean, when Bowley got sent off, absolutely disgusting. But you know, I don't really like to keep going on about that. At the end of the day, go out there, win fucking games, and then you don't have to worry about the decisions. So
exactly.
There you go.
Just want to highlight this comment from Unix79. It says here, panel, the fan base are the problem. They keep quiet because they do not want to lose friendships and they do not want to lose their likes, views, and subscriptions. It's always an uphill battle. Great comment.
They're not a fan then. You put your club first before views and subscriptions, I'm afraid.
Of course you do.
Well, you know, there's certain, we know the ones that we know those ones, don't we? No, thanks, Tony. Just going to come out in the comments. There's a couple of questions just to go back on before we kind of start wrapping this up. There's one here for Anthony and Jez, I believe. Jez is saying, would you rather have Pepe, Balogun and Alba as choices to bring on against Bayern, or Jesus and then Ketty or Havertz? I think that's quite an obvious one.
Yeah, Pepe, Balogun, Alba, man. They actually.
I thought you said Albert.
I just don't get what happened with Pepe. The guy, £72 million player. Arteta disrespected him. Balogun went out on loan, did the job, and then just binned him off.
Project,
we know what happened there. We know what happened with Aubameyang. 28 goal a year season. 28 goals a year. You know what I mean?
28 goals a year? That's terrible.
And we don't need a striker. But again, it was the fact that this manager, Arteta, fell out of him. Binned him off. And 3 years ago, now we haven't had a striker. I would sit here right now and tell you this fact. If we had Aubameyang still in that team, right, we would have won something. We would have won something because he scored goals. Yeah, and people tell me, we don't need a striker. We've got Saka, and we've got Martinelli, and we've got Odegaard, Oh, great, they all score. I'm not complaining about that.
What's a striker there to do, Jez?
Well, it's score goals, isn't it?
Is it? I thought they were supposed to iron the shirts.
At the end of the day, you still need that 24 goal of season player. May I just say this? Last season, Haaland, right, scoring goals for fun, and Man City did a treble.
Yeah.
I don't think I need to say anything else, do I?
No.
Can I just say
50 odd goals.
That that it was apparently a youth project when Arteta came in. Well, he bought Pepe, who was a young player, and binned him off, and he binned off Balogun, who was supposed to be the next big thing, young player. But I think there was rumbles of Balogun that he wanted to leave and stuff like that. But that goes back to Arteta can't deal with someone with character. He can't deal with big characters. That's why I don't think he'll want Ivan Toney, because he's quite a big character. He doesn't like.
Yeah, I agree with that.
He doesn't like being undermined.
And Gyökeres is a big character as well.
Exactly.
Let me just come to this.
You'll probably get a free striker.
This one as well from Luke James. He's saying we need to clear this world-class stuff up. The hype these days is crazy. Saka, Martinelli are not world-class. Well,
they're
No,
not.
no,
No.
they're
we
not.
can definitely agree on
They're
that
not.
one.
They're not.
Our two wingers today would piss all over him.
Yeah, exactly. I agree on that. Question to Jez and Anthony. Saka has been dusted in the period of Egypt. Would you agree?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean,
I would, yeah.
He's been found out, same as Holland, to be fair.
No, exactly.
It's more than that. He's been burnt out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why did he stay on for 90 minutes against Villa? Why did he stay on for 90 minutes against Bayern Munich?
Who's going to replace him?
Why did he stay on against Wolves? Right? The guy is clearly done.
Yeah, but who's going to replace him, Jez? Your manager never got anybody in to actually replace him. Yeah, maybe, but I mean, you could have got Pedro Neto, and have him sitting on the bench waiting to get his Arsenal shirt. The trouble with Arsenal, and I'm going to say it right now, is you've got no competition for shirts.
Fabio Vieira, man, he could have jumped in. Where's he gone?
I know
he's shit.
What, teabag?
I know he's shit. But at the end of the day, yeah, he's taken up bench time. Right?
He's another one.
He could have come on and hold the other's pockets, I suppose.
He's played on the right wing before and scored a couple of goals.
Arteta don't trust him, does he, that Vieira? You pay 35 million.
So why sign him?
Because, I don't know.
They bought him.
They paid 35 million quid. 35 million quid for him. You could have had
Yeah, I
Eze
do
and
agree
Elise
with
for
that.
26.
Yeah.
You could
I do.
have had Eze and Elise for 26 mil combined.
Facts.
Well, it proves he's been watching YouTube, Arteta, because he signed him because apparently he looks like Luca.
I mean, James, I've just got this question. You came a bit late onto the thing there, but we was talking about obviously after the Forest game against Everton. Forest
to Real Madrid.
Put the statement out regarding the VAR decisions. I mean, have you seen anything of the game?
I'll tell you what. I see. Is it Nico Williams? Is it? He come out. I see his interview, and I love that in a player when they come out and just be straight up honest. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
I'd rather have that all day long than someone coming out and trying to sort of like dance around the situation.
Yeah.
So yeah, it isn't good. VAR has been terrible this year. We've had some moody decisions. Every club's had a bad decision or
Coventry had one
yeah.
today. Like, I'm not being funny.
Thank you, Unique.
How about this for a rule? You know when the VAR comes up and it's the offside, and they happen to get the ruler out and the little lines and stuff to see if someone's offside. If it's like that, they should just give the goal. If it's by like this, fucking give it. It's not going to make one difference.
I mean, funny. I don't know if you saw Antonio's comments after the game on Thursday when he said, like, it weren't just playing against 11 minutes. We had like a 12th, 13th, 14th man in the linos and the referee, which is because I don't know if you saw
that VAR guy today at the Everton Forest game is confirmed Luton fan.
Yeah.
And his whole family are Luton season ticket holders.
Shock.
The only thing I'll say about that is we're kind of starting to question the integrity of officials there, and that's like a dangerous thing to do. So I don't know. Can you start picking and choosing who your officials are? Who's going to referee a game based on he refereed a game before and we don't like the decisions he gave, or they're supposed to be impartial and professional, and if they're not, then our game is actually in a more serious state than any of us thought.
Of course it is. Do you want a referee that's an Arsenal fan? Of course you don't. Do you want a VAR official that's an Arsenal fan? Of course you don't.
The Arsenal games, yeah. Of course you do.
Oh, yeah. But I mean, that's the only way you win anything if you cheat. So, I mean, we understand that.
I mean, you've got a United fan that's an official. We're still bloody tank it.
It's still
I'm giving you everything. I'm giving you everything. You still can't get the results across the line.
I don't think there's the thing of questioning referees, but I think it needs a bit of common sense. You would put a Luton fan in charge of that game today.
Common
Because of
sense?
course
What's that, Jack? What's that? Common
it's not.
sense? I think that's a
It doesn't
dying
really
breed,
exist
mate.
anymore, does it? No, I agree.
If you go into a zoo, you'll actually see somebody in a cage that's actually got common sense one day.
Does this prove though that PGMOL don't do their due diligence? Proves that, doesn't it? That you can look at that and think, well, they're in a relegation scrap, you know.
Well, the thing is, Forest actually questioned it before the game took place that this guy was a Luton fan, and they basically just didn't do anything about it.
Sure.
Guys, I'm gonna have to go anyway because I've got knocking on the door on the wall. So
yeah, thanks for your time, mate. And,
I'll see you. Have a nice one, yeah.
Bro.
Take care.
Have you got a chance to shake yourself out before you go, unless the neighbours knock again? But if you can.
Yeah, he's long-haired Yeti's cave. Talk real, no bullshit. You know, major Forest fan. And Yeti's a prick. I mean, Jez is a prick. And I'll see you all later.
Thanks, mate. Take it easy.
See you
later, guys.
See ya.
Big love.
Cheers, mate.
And you as well, mate. Take care. I mean, going back to Thursday, the referee for us was all about him. In my eyes, it was just all about him.
Well, it was like two different referees, one after the other. That's what I don't get. He was like appallingly bad second half. How could it go from how he refereed the first 45 to how he refereed the second 45? It just
because he
almost doesn't seem possible.
Yeah, because you know what it is, he might be weak up here, and where he's had people, probably the Leverkusen players, and that having a go at him and all that. He's probably thought, well, I better give them some next half. That's what they're like.
Well, the worst part about it was the end of the game when, he was being questioned. I think even Zuma just come up to him, I think tapped him on the shoulder, spun around and give him a yellow card. I mean, Jez's referee, I don't think even Jez would have dreamed of doing anything like that. I mean, that was just complete madness.
Jez would
he booked Sufral, didn't he? And Zuma came up to have a word with him. He couldn't even get his card in his pocket. He just turned around and showed it to him.
Yeah.
It was crazy, that.
How have we gone from referees like Kalina to people like Chris Kavanagh and all that? Jesus Christ.
Well, there's been some shocking ones this season. I mean, it's cost us all. I think all the teams that's in the panel now, it's cost us points.
He got sacked off recently, didn't he? One of them, Lee Mason.
Well, yeah, that was.
He got potted, didn't he?
And then
you get me. But you know what it is? You know what it is though? You get them do their little programs, the X ones, like Ref Watch with Sky, Dermot Gallagher and that. But they're never going to slag off their boys on the pitch.
No,
they give it they spill around the issue. They don't go, yeah, I think he was wrong there. I would have done X, Y, and Z. They just go, well, I can see what he's doing. No, come out and if you come out and brave about this situation with referees, you might see some change because they might think, right, we've got to tighten up here. But no, when they're getting back in the media and all that stuff, they're never going to change, are they?
Not at all. Not at all.
And you're never getting caught.
Whoa.
Are you going to stop thieving? No.
True.
There was a comment you put up early doors, Tony, that said VAR has been consistently inconsistent, and I really thought that was so accurate. It's miles back. I doubt you'd be able to find it, but I thought what a brilliant comment that was, and it just about sums up how VAR is applied, because from one game to the next, even during the same game, it can be baffling how they do or they don't come to certain decisions.
Like even today, the West Ham goal for Antonio, did it really need to take 2.5 minutes?
Well, we'll come to that one. Big up trip, Vic. Good seeing you.
And then, like Cole Palmer in the semi-final, that didn't get given a handball, but Wan-Bissaka's one did today.
Mm-hmm.
And they're very similar scenarios. So how do they judge this? like I've said to you before, Tone, and other shows that I've been on, the decision that you see, the bad one this week, whether it's a penalty not given or a penalty given, you'll see the opposite or the same thing given the next week.
Yeah.
So I'm just lost with it, to be honest.
That's
They
always
should do
been the
press
way with
conferences.
refereeing, right? That
Yeah.
one thing given, the next thing given. But I thought the whole point of the VAR was to try and iron some of this out, and it's not achieving that at all. So the question is, what's the point of it? We might
You're
as
not
well
fit-
just go back to debating referees' decisions rather than having all the stoppages, 4 minutes here, 5 minutes there, right? To be sitting here talking about it on a Sunday evening.
The empowerment of refereeing has now been taken away from the referee. You look at any referee now in a game, right? They'll make their decision, yeah, and they'll wait for VAR.
Yeah,
because
pointless them being there.
What is the point nowadays of having a referee's assistant? What do they bring to the game anymore? They're a bit part. They're a bit part. Because even right on a line break offside, yeah, they'll run down the line, yeah, and if there's then a goal, they'll go offside.
Yeah, they wait 2 minutes.
When it used to be, as soon as the linesman or referee's assistant now, yeah, as soon as you saw that player offside, flag up.
Yeah.
They wait now. They wait. They'll run, and they'll wait to see what the decision's going to happen. That is what's killing the game. Go on, Jack.
Do you know what it is, mate? I get it when they leave the flag down if it's close and a tight offside. They're not sure. But some of them are blatantly obvious. Where there's like the guy's 10 meters offside and they still wait.
You
know, I think they need to be subjective. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, well, so Richard's actually just seen the penalty decisions. Yeah, Stevie Wonder would have given. Yeah, because that first one was clear and obvious in my eyes. But
like Casemiro's
penalty. Do you not think that the refs, if there's been a big VAR incident in a game?
Yeah, but that's what I was about to say. Why can't the referees override the decision? Why can't they? They've got the power to.
You know where the managers do their press conferences? Yeah, after the game. Why can't they, if there's been a big VAR decision in the game, have a big replay on the telly and say to the refs, why is he standing there? Okay, explain why you've done this decision. And then they can explain what, because then it might make people think, okay, I can see what he's thinking there. But they don't, they just forget about it and move on to the next week. And if it's wrong, you get an apology. Well, thanks, but an apology's a bit shit when you've lost 3 points or whatever. Make them do a press conference if there's been a massive VAR decision. And then
they're not held accountable, Jack. That's the problem. They're not held accountable. I mean, Jez, Anthony, Fuzz. Well, I mean, we've had many chats of this before. They're not held accountable, and as Jez said a couple of times, even in his own streams, it costs games. It costs points.
It's a big thing. Liverpool the league.
Also, by the way, I know that we've still had that many controversial VAR decisions. How many more of these released VAR audios have come out for all of the controversial decisions? Because I don't remember there being much else that was released after the Tottenham game. VAR audios.
Fuzzy, they edited that one, mate.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
It took them a week to bring it out.
It literally makes no sense. It's like if it's
audio,
should be available for the public like that.
You have the audio. It should have been out that night. Really.
Yeah.
And somebody goes, "Oh, we've made a mistake." Like Paul Merson said, even if it was 20 seconds later into play, bring it back. Even Liverpool fans wouldn't have had any room to complain about it because they would have got the right decision in the end. No one's going to die if you get it wrong. No one's going to go to prison. The letter of the law.
No, of course, exactly.
Even if it's a minute down the line, bring it back.
One of my bugbears with the VAR and audio, what we're talking about is it's available to the broadcasters, and the broadcasters can hear what's going on in the VAR hub, and they often comment about it and announce, "Oh, it's going to be a goal. It's been given onside. We're just waiting for confirmation to go through to the referee." So I think that should be broadcast, and they should broadcast their decisions, much like they do in rugby. And the referee says, "I'm awarding a penalty. I think it's handball. Can you tell me a reason why not to award the penalty?" And they talk through it. The fans will be informed, because if you're inside the stadium, the worst thing in the world is a VAR check, which is just sitting there twiddling your thumbs. You've got absolutely no idea.
Yeah.
And
No, it's not Elijah.
if you're watching on telly, the broadcasters are already hearing what's going on. So why can't they broadcast that decision-making process?
They're scared of fans. That's what they are. They're scared of fan reaction. But it's even worse for them when it comes out and it's all wrong. So,
Big up Lone Star, mate. Big up Lone Star.
Exactly. We want some people in prison. So as we're just going to wrap up this one, the last question I want to put out there to the panel is from Tony Neary, and it is predictions for Tuesday's game: Arsenal versus Chelsea.
I'm going 2-0 Arsenal.
1-1.
Yeah, I think it'll be a tough game. I think it might be a draw as well.
Well, if we played like how we played against Wolves, then I'm going to go for a 2-2. Sorry, but I can't see it. If we play against Chelsea like that, like how we play against Wolves, we ain't going to win. So Arteta's got to come up with a different strategy and a different plan.
You go for Desmond on your tractor.
I can't remember for the life of me what I predicted, because we've done these predictions already on the midweek show. But yeah, I think it's going to depend really on what sort of players are going to have the biggest amount of influence in this game. Like Cole Palmer for Chelsea, is he going to become the super carry for Chelsea again? Is Trossard going to get his start and given an opportunity to have impact in the game? I mean, it sounds probably the most likeliest score being a draw. So yeah, for me, I'll probably go something like a 1-1. Both teams do, strangely enough, quite well to not concede huge amounts of goals. When they do concede them, they can be quite bad. Quite bad goals to concede. But they don't concede bucket loads.
I can just imagine Cole Palmer against Zinchenko.
Yeah, oh Christ.
They'll call him Binchenko after that.
Arsenal, with Jeff saying Arsenal win 2-1. So he had a few results in there. So yeah, it's good.
Are very dangerous on the counter attack. Very dangerous. But they got pace.
As they say, Cole Palmer FC.
As long as Nicholas Jackson doesn't start for Chelsea, I think they'll be all right.
Well, just as long as there's not a penalty decision, I think you'd say more fuzzy. As long as there's no penalty decisions, there's no arguing then, is there really?
Yeah, if he's on the bench, he'll still run on the pitch.
It's Palmer, isn't it? If they haven't got Palmer in the team, then Chelsea ain't really nothing. Because it's Palmer that's actually doing well for him this season. Nobody else, really.
I thought they was quite unlucky in the City game, to be fair.
That Jack Grealish handball as well.
It was a joke.
Yeah, that was a bit of a dubious one.
Ours literally the very same competition, very next day, same box, close range handball. Yeah, penalty. Jack Grealish standing about 20 feet away. Oh, the ball's hit my hand. It's bit my hand. Don't worry, Jack. Don't worry. It's fine. We'll just play on. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, he reckons Chelsea game could be a bad one for Arsenal.
He would.
Yeah.
Could.
Jess is calling him out.
So we're coming up to 2 hours and 10 minutes. So if you'd like to shout your channel out, please, Hot Fuzz, first of all.
Yeah, find me off as 44OG on YouTube and Instagram. I did post out a match reaction video, which is, I don't know if Anthony's had a look at that and counted the tally charts of how much I've sworn in that video, because thank goodness I'm not a monetized channel, otherwise I'd probably take my monetization away for a good fat month or something.
I watched it, folks, and I enjoyed it.
How much profanity is in that video, but yeah, I mean, does that performance save Ten Hag? Because I'm already hearing the managerial talk starting. Thomas Tuchel's high in Sergio Ratcliffe's regard. So God only knows what's going to happen. It could be curtains.
Yeah, he must be high if he'd want to take that job.
I mean, Jesus Christ, I don't even know. I don't even know. But yeah, big ups to everybody in the chat, also to everybody on the panel as well. It's been a very, very good Sunday night takeaway episode. Thankfully, I've had my blushes spared somewhat by actually reaching a final of the FA Cup, further than Arsenal have managed to in the longest time. I'll be shameless. Gotta get a little bit of that in there, but yeah, big ups to everybody, and yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And Jez, if you'd like to shout your good channel out, please.
Yeah, it's Arsenal history and more, man. Thanks for having me on as always. Great chat, great debates with everybody on the panel and in the chat. It's been great fun. I've really enjoyed it. I won't lie. And yes, Arsenal history more, everything about Arsenal and other teams as well. Great debates about all football things. It's not just Arsenal. It's just about football. And yeah, I do the history of the Arsenal. I haven't done any football for a while. I'm leaving that for the summertime because we have nothing to talk about. So we'll talk about it then. But
only the Euros.
Tony, thanks for having me on, man. And
no, it's always a pleasure, Jez. And guys, people in the chat, don't forget, let's get this guy up to 6,000 subs. Doing some good stuff. So help him out.
There you go.
I would say, Anthony, and to Jack, shout your channels out, but obviously, you're hitchhikers, as always. But it's great to have you. It's great to have you, as always. You know that.
This is Anthony's channel.
Oh yeah, I mean, you can find me on Early Doors TV, where we do the good, the bad, and the ugly on Wednesday nights. Also, we come onto this show, the Sunday night takeaway. And also, thanks for everybody for tuning in, and thank you for the comments. But make sure you subscribe and like to everybody's channel here. Obviously, Jack hasn't got one, but he might have one soon. Just one question for Fulk. I bought this for my son today, right? The Euro 2024, right? And he's got the England players in there, and he's got all their names. But guess what? It doesn't have Saka in the team. Think of that what you like.
Really?
Yeah, it doesn't have Saka. They bought that for my son. It doesn't have Saka in the team. He's got every other player apart from Saka.
Wonder why.
They don't put scrubs in that book.
Yeah.
Is Rashford in that book?
Actually, no, I don't think he is, guys. That's a good point.
He's not, then that's justified. They don't put politicians in that.
No, midfield. Listen to this. The midfield is Declan Rice, Mason Mount, Jordan Edison, Colton Palmer, Jack Grealish, Jude Bellingham. The strikers are Ollie Watkins, Callum Wilson, Harry Kane, and that's it. That's all he's got for there. So it hasn't even got Saka in the team.
Not surprised.
Absolutely wrecked.
Jeff, if you'd like to shout out your channel, please.
Yeah, lovely. Cheers. Yeah, I've got the YouTube channel Bowling Lounge. We do a live and interactive Tuesday talk show. So if anyone would like to come join us from the chat, see what we're about, love to see you in there. And thanks to all the panel. Thanks for having me on, Tony. Very good of you to invite me. Thanks to everyone in the chat. It's been a really good evening. It took a bit of the doom and gloom off of this afternoon for me, I can tell you, because it was pretty depressing as a West Ham fan. And it's been a really good chat. So thank you very much for having me on again, Tony.
No,
Appreciate
you're
it.
welcome, mate.
And
You're
thanks to
welcome.
everyone else on the panel.
Nice to meet you.
And you, Jez.
Yeah, same here, man.
Yeah, and you, Jack.
Find about the Bristol City ground.
Piss off, Bristol Rovers, new way. No. Do you know what? I would have liked one person to come on here and get his point of view on your match. I would have liked Budgie to have been on here and see what he would have had to say.
Yeah, exactly. And obviously, just to mention E20 Zone TV, James's channel. You find him on his channel there, and X and Insta and all that lot, and he does a lot of West Ham stuff. Great guy. I always get a good chat with him as well. And Budgie, unfortunately, was still making his way back home, so he couldn't be on tonight. But hopefully, we'll catch him another time. So, in the chat, thanks very much for being with us. It's been superb having you in here, putting some great comments in, and you'll find me. The top three, basically, me, Hot Fuzz, and Anthony on Wednesdays doing the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly show, where we talk about our three clubs and obviously Anthony's eyebrows. So other than that, just want to say a few ones. It's not fine. Not on a, oh dear, be still going on. Awesome stream, like a sub and sub to all these guys on the panel. Exactly that. Thanks very much, Darren. Thank you very much for that. Appreciate that. And she's saying night also. We look forward to Tuesday's game. See where we go from there.
And Wednesday night's game.
And of course, and Wednesday's night game. Yeah, that should be an interesting one as well. So, everyone, thanks so much for being in, and we'll catch you next time. Take care for now. Bye-bye.
Bye.